Change is possible, especially when you have amazing people who make things happen. Welcome to New Life is celebrating our 5-year anniversary because of two men who had an vision to help our community with change and hope. This morning, I would like to welcome one of our co-founders and board president, Puck Rowe, to the podium as he gives history as well as special recognitions. Let us welcome Puck.
This is absolutely incredible. I mean, I can't tell you. It's just beyond all imagination, and thank each one of you and those who could not make it, and God bless each and every one of you. Can you hear me now? Yeah, thank you. Yeah. You know, I guess probably I'd like at this particular time, we have a lot of elected officials here. Would every elected official in the county, city, township, and state please stand? I might say this, you'll hear more later. We're here because of the vision of one gentleman. He's an outstanding human being, the guy by the name of Stan Kajawa. We knew him as Mr. Dirt Cheap, but there's no better human being than what Stan was. More about that later. Chief Justice, thank you very much for coming up for the second time. Chief Justice kicked off this thank you breakfast several years ago, well, 4 years ago, and then that got us on the right track to get this thing moving. I want to share something with you, and as I do this, I've really thought long and hard about this. But I'm going to ask each one of you to do something, and when I get to the end of what I'm sharing with you, if I ever run into you, I want you to share with me what I'm going to ask you. You're all very successful people, very successful. In all of our lives, there's a lot of people that impact our lives. I want you to be thinking about that one person, maybe just a hair, above everybody else, who that person was. I've shared this story with a couple of people, and I apologize for repeating, but I'm going to share my story with you because it has an effect on what this program is all about. I was born down in Appalachian on the Ohio side in a little village called Colton. Across the street from our dairy farm, Jim Rhodes was born, and the National Cash Register was discovered there by the name of Patterson. NCR takes credit for it. It was a wonderful community, only 600 people, as I said. But anyway, my job was to mow my grandparents' yard. And one day, August, it was in 1947, and I was 11 years old. I get down, I'm mowing grass, I'm going down to the brook, come back up, and my grandfather pulled in. I looked at him getting out of his blue Chevrolet. I can see it yet today. He got out, grabbed his inner bucket, and walked across the bridge. He was an underground foreman in a coal mine. He had taken off his goggles. He had white coal dust. He walked over to me, and before he walked to me, I thought, what am I going to grow up to be in my life? Anyway, he walked over to me, put his arm around me, and he said, Puck, what are you doing out here mowing grass? It's too hot. Let's go in and have a glass of homemade lemonade. I said, Pop, you just came out of a coal mine. What are you talking about? Nope, let's go. We go in, we're sitting down at the kitchen table, and he said to me, he said, Puck, pull that chair out. I pulled the chair out. He said, stand up on that chair. I stood up on that chair. He got up, reached his hand up to me. He said, grab my hand. I grabbed his hand, squeeze it. I squeezed it, boom, he pulled me down on the floor. He said, now get your butt back up there. I got back up there. He said, give me your hand. I gave it to him, and I gave him my hand. He said, now pull me up there with you. I pulled and pulled and pulled and pulled, and I said, Pop, I can't get you up there. He said, now get down. I want to tell you something. In life, you can pull other people up. Don't ever, ever give up. In life, you can be pulled down so easy. Promise me you'll never let your life be pulled down. That's the story he gave me, and it's impacted me all my life. Back to Stan, forgive me for a little bit personal, but back in 2018 early, I was thinking about moving to Fort Myers, and Stan Kajawa called me and wanted to have lunch. Go out and have lunch. Stan had been gone for 10 years. He lost his beautiful wife, Patty, down in Florida. He got homesick for his city that he loved. He came back. We go out. He was representing St. Michael's Church in the missionary to the inmates of jail. He saw an inmate walk out there one day. He asked the deputies after, he said, "What happens?" He said, "It's a swinging door. They'll be back in here just like all the rest, in and out, in and out, in and out." Anyway, Stan talked about that, and it bothered him. We met and said, "What can we do about that?" I said, Stan was involved a little bit in children's mentoring, and we thought about, well, how about adult mentoring? Well, then, from that point on, we took our hands. Now, there was something else that happened that meant so much to us. There was a young lady who had retired from the United Way, and we needed some help with somebody who understood nonprofits. With Tamara Rooney here, is Tamara, you here? Stand up, Tamara. Give Tamara a hand. Tamara was able to get our 501c3 in August of 2019, and that's the reason why we're here for our 5-year anniversary from that time on. Anyway, after we got through that there, Stan and I talked about it and knew this community a little bit. Well, I wondered what this community would think about forming a program, going in and helping people in drugs addiction, drugs and alcohol. What would they think? We better interview some people. The first person we interviewed was a guy by the name of Don Templin, Senior Vice President of Marathon. Don hosted us at the gathering, and he said to us, he said, "My goodness, go for it, go for it. Those people deserve a chance to have the life that God meant for them to have. You have mine and Carrie's 100% support." That really got us kicked off. And then we went to the criminal justice system. Can't say enough for the criminal justice system and all those involved, both city and county. Just amazing what they did in support of this program. And then to do what we were able to do, go into the jail, and Sheriff, thanks to you for letting us go in that jail all those times, and all your staff, and Ryan and Kidwell, just a fantastic. And then we had a sort of an ace in the hole in a jail that has done so much for this program, a guy by the name of Jim Woodward, the barber. Jim, thanks for what you've done for this program very much. We proceeded with our interviews, and when we finally finished a little over a year, we had talked to, in groups and individuals, over 200 people. And folks, I just want to tell you one thing. I can't tell you how heartwarming it was to be able to have 100% support and encouragement from everybody we talked to. The last people we talked to, John Malacca, Stan Kajawa, and I met with Kathy and Dwayne Gibbet. We're sitting here talking. After about an hour and 15 minutes, Dwayne said, "Well, Kathy and I did our homework before we come here, and here's what we're going to do." We hadn't even gone there to ask for money yet from anybody. He said, "We're going to give you $50,000. If you match it in 3 months, it's yours." And John and Stan and I looked at each other. We didn't know what to say other than, wow. So we left there early in September. December the 15th, 3 months later, we had dinner at the Finley Inn with Kathy and Tamara was there, John and Denise and Stan, and they wrote a check for $50,000 because we were able to raise $50,000, and that met our first year budget at $100,000. There's a gentleman here who brought so much to this program, and he's going to shoot me for mentioning him, the name and what have you, but I think you all know him and what he's done to so many in this committee. Dr. John Malakis and Denise, would you stand up, please? Thank you, John, for all you brought, your insight and all your advice. See where I'm at here. The other thing that happened, I'll tell you, we had so many things happen, we kept looking up above, because that's the only way many of these things happen, only way. Met with Gary Harps early on, and he said, go for it. I think you all know Gary Harps, TLB. We met with him about 3 or 4 years ago, and he said to us, he said, where's your office? And I'm going to talk about this young lady in a minute. I said, well, Carlos, it's in her home. her and Jake's home. He said, oh, it is? Well, Jeff or Gary Harps took care of that. We got 3 beautiful offices and a conference room and a kitchenette in his facility out there on West Main Street. That was a tremendous caring for Gary Harps, and it meant so much to this program. Now back to this young lady right here. After we got our money, and we were in April, 4 years ago, we were interviewing people for this job. And we interviewed 6 people, and they were all impressive. The last person that walked in was this young lady, Carla Benjamin. John, Tamara, Stan, and I looked at each other after we got done, and I think we could compare it with a grand slam home run in baseball. Carla, you've done a fantastic job, just amazing. We thank you and your staff. You deserve so much, and this is your pride and joy in what God wanted you to do. Please stand up. There's a couple of fine employees, Allison and Rochelle. Where are they at? Please stand up. They do a fantastic job. It's just amazing, really amazing. I want to have another very important group of people stand up, and I'll tell you what, this is something else that was amazing. Everybody we asked said yes, and I want the board, members of the board, to stand up. Would you please stand up? Thank you so very much. I just want to drop back to the criminal justice system and thank the individual that heads up that county criminal justice system. Kim Schweitzer, would you please stand up, please? Thanks, man. Another group of people that meant so much this program, we met with them several times, was the public defenders. Thank you very much for what you people do and the good job you do in representing these people. It's a tremendous thing, and thank you for your cooperation. Now I want to mention some people, and I can't mention everybody because we'd be here a long time, but we thank so many people. Just to list a few. Drug court. Great job by Judge Ralston and Judge Starn. They do a tremendous job. Family Resource Center, City Mission, Hope House, Chopin Hall, Blanchard Valley Hospital, the Moms Program, Findlay Digital Academy, the Adamus Board, County Commissioners, Raise the Bar, Christian Clearinghouse, Hancock County Library, Habitat, Women's Resource Center, Kiwanis Club, both Rotary Clubs, Findlay Service League, Steady Path, and the University of Findlay and Owens. That's just a few, but each one of those people have contributed greatly to this program, and we could not be where we're at today without their stepping up to help us out. And finally, if you want to talk about the real heroes in this program, and they're volunteers, they don't get paid, but would all the mentors please stand up? Please stand up. I can guarantee you these people go to bed at night when you volunteer, and they feel pretty good about looking at someone that changed their life, and in some cases, we don't know, perhaps saved a life. It's just amazing. Look at that list of those people, and this impacts the mentees, the inmates, and I'll tell you a reason how it impacts them. When these mentees and inmates find out that they're volunteers, they're not getting paid, it has an entirely different impact on them. Because here's someone that they never had in their life, perhaps, someone who really, really cares for them. I guess probably at this time I better stop. Judge Starn, did I take too long? You better be careful. I'll bring you to the sheep inn and see you again. Anyway, God bless you. Thank you for being here. And I just want to say, back to when I mentioned Stan. Stan is stepped aside, and he's working on another nonprofit, the autism. He has some family members involved in autism. But please, if you run into Stan Kajawa, offer your hand out or even a hug and say, Stan, thanks for your vision for folks. That's the reason why we're here. It was all Stan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Puck. We currently are working with 48 mentees and have connected with over 250 people in our community. We appreciate the referrals that we receive from probation departments, FRC, nonprofits, family and friends. These men and women that we are working with are all in different stages of their new life journey. And we want to come alongside them to offer support, accountability, friendship, and hope. Over the last 5 years, Welcome to Life has been blessed to be able to celebrate many moments and milestones with our mentees. Some milestones that they have reached have been graduating from drug court. They have been certificates through the Work Advanced program, their GED, high school diplomas, getting their driver's license, buying their first car, reuniting with family, months and years of sobriety, baptisms, weddings, babies, and the list goes on. There are so many things that we love to see, and we're seeing the change happening. All of this is possible because of you. We are all here because you believe in the mission. We are all here because you believe that mentorship works. We are all here because you believe that people can recover, and we all have hope for change for today and for future generations, one person at a time. Now, I would like to introduce to you one of our friends, Russell, who has been part of our program for the past 4 years. He has had to embrace the twists and turns in life. Well, one thing he knows is that we are proud of him and we are here for him every step of the way. Russell?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so grateful to be here today. This new life journey has not been easy. And there have been many highs and lows. There have been many highs and lows. I've had to learn to build myself up with the help of my 2 mentors and many others in my corner. I would like to personally thank Bob Murphy and Adam Zickert, my mentors. Without them, I'm not sure where I would be in life today. They never walked away even when I struggled. They supported me with words of encouragement to keep going and not to give up. For that, I want to let Bob and Adam know how much I love and appreciate them. I would also like to thank the wonderful men who started this program, Mr. Stan and Mr. Puck. There are also many supporters of the program to thank, because ultimately without them, we would not be here today. There are a lot of people that have devoted their time and resources to make this program a major success. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for believing in people like me, giving us hope, support, and devotion to Welcome to a New Life. Today, I celebrate 2 years sobriety. I'm working, I've paid all my court fines and fees, and finally getting my driver's license and saving up to purchase a new car. My name is Russell Monroe. Welcome to my new life.
Wow. Excellent job, Russell. Thank you very much for doing that. My name is Bob Murphy, and I am, thank you very much for having us here. I'm pleased to be here. I'm proud to be Russell's mentor. A couple of weeks ago, Carla had asked me to speak to the group and let you know what it means to me to be a mentor. So I thought about that, and I think the most comfortable way for me to do that, I kind of came up with a Dave Letterman top 10 list on why to be a mentor. So we'll give it a shot here. But before I start, I'll tell you that my wife considers me an acquired taste. I think I'm a fine wine. I can say confidently, because she's not here, don't listen to her. Just sit back and enjoy my smooth sounds and somewhat cracky, crickety voice. So without further ado, the top 10 reasons on why to be a Welcome to New Life mentor. Reason number 10, home field advantage. What do I mean by that? I grew up in Findlay. I went to Findlay High School, went to Ohio State after that, got a job with Cooper, and moved away for several years. In 2014, I had the pleasure of moving back. Some might say I was forced back here, but I moved from Phoenix to Findlay. Why did I do that? Because Findlay is my home. It's your home too. It's your main street. It's your backyards. It's your family. So let's take care of our community. Let's take care of our neighbors. Let's take care of our home field. Reason number 9, I get to work with someone named Puck. I'm not going to lie. When I heard that I was going to work with and meet this Puck Rowe, I'd never met him before. I thought it was like a skateboarding kind of guy. And I know I'm picking on Puck because obviously he's done quite a bit for this community and this organization, but it's more than Puck. We're working for a team. Carla is our quarterback. In the offices, we've got Rashay and Alyssa. They're running backs and wide receivers. And then you've heard about this great group of board of directors. They're our coaches and our general managers. So excellent group of directors, and proud to work alongside them. So reason number 8, learn more about the resources available in our community. It takes a village, and ladies and gentlemen, we have that in Findlay, Ohio, and Hancock County. There are several more resources than I will list today, and they're all valuable partners. But Russell and I owe a shout out to the following resources. City Mission, Focus Men's Sober Living, Owens Community College for helping us with the GED, HATS and Findlay Service League, all those cab vouchers that they have provided for transportation, Hancock County Veterans Service Office, Family Resource Center, Salem United Church, United Methodist Church, Hancock County Adult Probation and Municipal Probation, Legal Aid of Western Ohio, and Ohio Means Jobs for helping us with the resume. So, big list there. Before I get to reason number 7, are there any accountants in the room? Any actuaries? Any auditors? Well, right now you're probably thinking, I've only went through 3 reasons. He's only 30% done. But I got to tell you, reason number 8 was a long one, so this is going to be a little bit shorter than you think. So hang in there with me. Reason number 7, opportunity to be humbled. My mentor partner, Adam Zickert, a colleague of mine at Cooper, approached me with the idea of being a mentor 4 years ago. I'd been a professional mentor at Cooper with some young professionals a time or two. And I thought, can I do this? It's a little bit different. So I discussed it with my bride, and we agreed to meet with Stan and Puck at Coffee Amici. How many of you other people have had meetings like that with Stan and Puck, and the next thing you know, you're doing something? I thought, no big deal. I'll help somebody in a few months, and I'll help another, and then another, and then another. Piece of cake, right? Well, I quickly learned that this was going to be unlike anything else I've ever experienced. Mentees likely have experienced challenges that we haven't experienced before. And 4 years later, I'm proud to say that I'm still Russell's mentor and good friend. These challenges make my issues at work seem trivial by nature, so I was quickly humbled. It was good for me. Number 6, recidivism rates. You're thinking this is a big word for a tire guy, aren't you? So I've got a phone. I can search things just like you all can. A few years ago, we learned from Justice Sharon Kennedy of the Supreme Court that just locking up people and is not always the best answer, and I'm sure she'll probably talk about that today, maybe, I think. But it's not always the best answer. Through this program, the collaboration with other programs, resources the mentee is connected with, we can help with recidivism, one person at a time. Number 5, we have enough love to give. My life is probably similar to you in the room. At the time I agreed to be a mentor, I was busy with life, work, and raising my family. We had one at Ohio. We had at the time one at Ohio State. We had one at LB. So I questioned my capacity to take this on. Did I have enough bandwidth and love and support to give without impacting my time with my family? Can I make an impact with my mentee when my kids don't even listen to me at home? I trusted my faith, had the support of my family, and was amazed at the capacity within. Reason number 4, at the risk of sounding cliche, you have a chance to see the impact you as a mentor can make firsthand. How often do we write a check to an organization not really know where that money's going? With Welcome to New Life, you have a chance to make a difference. As a Welcome to New Life mentor, you'll feel something the first day. Adam and I will never forget the first day we met you, Russell. Here were some of our observations. We quickly noticed his warm, bubbly personality and his deep faith in Jesus Christ. Russell was transparent with us right away about some of his challenges and his setbacks. And I want to thank you for opening up to us, Russell, because that's part of it, having a two-way street here. So thank you very much. Number 3, as a mentor, you're not alone. You have a mentor partner, and you're part of a bigger mentor team. I have the best mentor partner on the planet. As he struggles with a life-threatening illness, he still provides Russell and I guidance all the time. He hasn't given up. My fellow mentors are all from different backgrounds and stages in their life. Through Welcome to a New Life meetings, we support each other with confidential and open discussions. We share ideas, success stories, and setbacks. Not once have I heard a mentee or once have I heard a mentor say that they're giving up on their mentee. Not once. My fellow mentors' passion and commitment is truly inspiring as they try their best to make a difference in this community. Reason number 2, if not us, who? There are people in this community that could benefit from Welcome to a New Life. We need more mentors. Commitment, availability, and follow-up have been my secret sauce. It can go a long way with a mentee that may not have the support structure or family in place. What is your secret sauce? I hope you decide to be there for someone in need. You have gifts to give, your wisdom, your love, and your presence. And finally, reason number 1 on why to be a Welcome to New Life mentor. Everyone deserves a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance, a fifth chance, however many it's going to take. That's the purpose of our organization. We can change the lives of people in our community. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Those were powerful. I hope everyone enjoyed hearing from Russell. Russell, we are so proud of you. You've come a long way, buddy. And I love when you stop in the office and you're just like, I just need to talk. It's always okay, Russell, what's going on? And it's always nice to hear those, and share those moments and milestones. I know when he just recently, achieved the 2-year sobriety mark. And it was like, hey, I'm going to be 2 years sober. And it's just like, Russell, This is you, buddy. You did it. And it makes us so proud when we hear from any of our mentees that say, I'm celebrating 1 month, I'm celebrating 1 year, I'm celebrating anything. We celebrate, like I said, everything that they do, one day at a time, one step at a time. A dear friend of mine had a quote on her Facebook page, and I had to steal it because it was so good. It said, no one is ever too broken, too scared, too far gone to create change. Never stop fighting, never lose faith. At this point in time, I'd like to introduce Judge Routson. Judge Routson, we cannot thank you enough for all the support that you've given us from the very beginning. You've given this program support, you've given the people that we work with support. Thank you for doing what you do to keep our community safe, but also being a good judge that understands the challenges that people do come up against. We want to wish him a great time in his retirement coming up at the end of the year. We're going to miss you, but we want to thank you for everything.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, it's true. I'll be leaving my office on December 31st, 2024, not because I want to, but because the Ohio Constitution says I must. And for those of you who don't understand this, I see we have some other elected officials here. Judges are the only elected officials in Ohio who must retire at the age of 70, after they reach the age of 70. Perhaps that might be something the legislature should look at maybe for some other office holders too. But to be fair, we don't have term limits, so I guess it all evens out over the course of time. I say that because I see Mr. Sprague here today, so maybe he... But thank you so much, Carl. It's an honor to be here. I'm so glad to be with you. Plus, I have an additional honor today. I get to introduce our Chief Justice. It is my honor to introduce our keynote speaker, which is our Chief Justice Sharon Kennedy. Chief Justice Kennedy began her career in the justice system as a police officer at the Hamilton Police Department, working to protect and serve the citizens of Hamilton, Ohio. During her time as an officer, she was busy developing programs and was involved in the implementation of crime prevention and other programs. She obtained her law degree from the University of Cincinnati College of Law and began as a solo practitioner, a very difficult endeavor. She transitioned to becoming a part-time magistrate in Butler County and then was elected judge for the Butler County Common Pleas Court Domestic Relations Division in 1999. And I think, Chief Justice, that's where we got to know each other back in the day, as they say. From 2005 until in December of 2012, Chief Justice Kennedy served as the administrative judge of the division of that court. She was busy working on programs during that period of time and worked with state legislators to champion a common sense family law initiative to reduce the multiple form litigation which existed in Butler County and made it difficult for families to achieve results in justice. She first joined the Ohio Supreme Court as an associate justice in 2012. She was elected to serve an unexpired term. She was elected to her first term in December of 2014 and reelected once again in November of 2020. She was elected Chief Justice of our Supreme Court of the state of Ohio in November of 2022. She is the 11th Chief Justice of our court in the modern era and is the second woman to serve in that role. As a dedicated jurist, she's received numerous and well-deserved awards for her multifaceted efforts to improve the judicial system. For example, she's worked with judges across the state to develop and facilitate programs to address the needs of juveniles. She's also demonstrated a particular interest in the assistance of helping struggling veterans with their Intercept Zero and Intercept One initiatives. She's committed funding to our specialty dockets and encourages all trial judges and trial courts in the state of Ohio to work directly with offenders in programs such as our drug court programs we have here to eliminate drug addiction and to guide those with mental health issues to a better place. She is a strong supporter of reentry programs and understands that success on these fronts can only be achieved through a collaborative community effort such as we have here in Findlay, Ohio. As she stated in her investiture speech, Together, we will build collaborative program-solving teams. We will find local solutions for local problems and address the challenges that every court faces today. She is here today to talk about those efforts. Please join me in welcoming Chief Justice Sharon Kennedy.
Well, good morning. Thank you, Judge Ralston, for that warm introduction and your years of service to the people of Hancock County and your willingness to be a voice for Ohio judges, especially on the tough issues. Thank you to Puck and Stan for being faithful to your dream of building a better world in your community and leading others to not only see that dream, but to embrace it as well. Many thanks to Carla for your leadership in carrying out the important work of the organization and for the opportunity to share this moment with you today. And thank you to each and every one of you who have dedicated your life to furthering the mission of Welcome to a New Life. Your unwavering dedication demonstrates the power of believing that there is a second chance in life for everyone. Russell, thank you for sharing your story. Like Russell, there was another story that I wanted to share. While you have many success stories in New Life, today, in reflecting on some, there was a story that was told to us about Wesley. It speaks to the transformative power of your efforts, how life experience can lead you to see redemption, and it's possible for everyone with just a little help. And that when you have inspiration and the opportunity to, carpe diem, seize the day. Welcome to a New Life isn't about those statistics, though there are many, and we collect a lot in the criminal justice system. It is about transforming lives. There's no greater testament to the transformative power of your efforts than Russell's story and Wesley's. On return to Findlay, the New Life community embraced Wesley as one of their own, so much so that his mentor Grant served as the DJ at his wedding reception. And Stan and Puck and Carla could stand witness to the heartening success story unfolding before their eyes. Wesley's determination and resilience, fueled by the steadfast support of your organization, underscores the importance of community involvement in helping people who have earned the right to live a life restored, live that life restored. His journey, like many others, exemplifies the impact that personalized attention and care that you can give every person who walks through the doors at New Life promises change. You are more than a support system. You are true to your motto of offering a road to hope, to justice-involved individuals navigating the challenges of breaking the change of criminalistic behaviors while often battling demons of substance abuse, mental health issues, and rebuilding families long since lost. But transitions are not easy. But in all of us, we can offer hope and a helping hand, especially when you believe that everyone who has earned the right to live restored can achieve a life restored. My passion for helping people achieve a life restored, live that life restored, really grew out of my service as a police officer in the city of Hamilton, a city really similar to Findlay. On a fateful snowy night, I encountered the stark realities facing people who had earned the right to live life restored, but who had squandered their love, their relationships, and their families during that time of turmoil. So with no family to return home to, no home to go to, he made a decision on that fateful snowy night to go back to prison by breaking into a tire store. As I walked into the room, he was just simply sitting there. He wasn't rifling through anything. He wasn't going through he wasn't running from me. When I asked him what he was doing, he said, "I'm waiting for you." He was waiting for me just to arrest him because, in his words, he couldn't make it out here in a world that he had never lived in, with no support system and no safety net to help guide him to that new life so that he could live a life restored. He went back to the only place he understood, prison. To him, that was his life. I cannot imagine thinking about incarceration as life. But for him, he understood the order of prison, and he would be, in his words, cared for. He would have clothes, a place to sleep, and food to eat. That is clearly not our vision of what life is about. But that encounter has stayed with me throughout my career, along with all the other encounters of people as an attorney or as a trial court judge who have struggled in their lives to live free of the justice system. It is why we have a growing specialized docket treatment community in the state of Ohio. Ohio is the #1 leader in specialized court dockets, helping those to help themselves to break the cycle of criminalization or criminalistic behavior. It's why, for me, focus on justice-involved veterans has been important to me as an associate justice. It is why, as Chief Justice in the spring of 2023, I announced the forming of a task force to look at reentry. And what is it that we can do? The executive branch, in building that coalition for reentry and doing their piece of what they can do, still left a gap in what Ohio can strive for as we look at reentry holistically. And that is, what can we and the judiciary offer in reentry? Recidivism is a fundamental challenge to every aspect of the justice system. Nationally, the return rate to prison for individuals is 39%. But here in Ohio, our return to prison rate is significantly lower at only 20.8%. But that's truly thanks to the dedication of programs like yours, but programs like the Reentry Coalition that is being operated by the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections, and the vision that they have, that seeing them leave and helping them live that restored life is better for them, our communities, and Ohio. But like you, where there is hope, you can also grow promise. That is the carpe diem, seize the day. That reentry task force is not possible for me to have completed without the help of two chairs. One, a judge, Krista Harnett in Stark County, who has a reentry treatment court, and Christopher Nicastro of the Ohio Mental Health and Addiction Services. Their team looked at both. What does it look like for prison reentry versus jail reentry? Because they are significantly different. And they have presented significant challenges in each of those forums. The Lorain County Sheriff's Department has one of the most effective reentry jail programs the state has ever seen, with rapid reentry and services as they're leaving through the system, in their hope that they do not fall through the cracks and come back to the jail. But then looking at what is it that we can do from the perspective of the judiciary. The team or the task force looked at a thorough analysis of needs, practices, and services between the systems, not only the justice system, but community support systems and networks, and the reentry populations. With experts from various fields and organizations, the task force aims to identify what are the best practices to enhance access to crucial resources like housing, employment, education, and healthcare. Having listened to the experts during the task force meetings, it was very true. As much as they were saying it that day or as it was on that snowy night as a police officer, he had nowhere to go. Without housing, it is impossible for you to stabilize a life, to then achieve anything else if you have nowhere to go. Shelter, and helping them achieve that, and connecting them with those resources that are actively out there, helping them find housing where they can actually live. Their efforts will culminate in a comprehensive report outlining the challenges faced by justice-involved citizens re-entering into society and presenting actionable recommendations to help ensure a smoother reintegration process and a more supportive society. That supportive society is really about us and really defines Findlay. As you look around the room of everyone here who is supporting this program today, from its inception to its life, to it furthering to help people like Russell and Wesley for the remainder of their days. When the report is published, some of it will be about what the judicial branch can do. It is my greatest hope that we grow reentry specialty dockets. But some of that will also fall to those other, what I call members of our society, whether it's the legislative branch or the executive branch, and all of those partners who work every day in this arena to try to help those live a life free of incarceration. It is through these concerted efforts that we aim to provide restored citizens with the tools and support they need to reintegrate successfully into society, back home to their community. Successful reentry is worth the investment. It is worth our investment, not just for the individuals, but for communities across Ohio and for the state as well. I thank you for all the work that you are doing here to help end the revolving door of recidivism by helping those who have achieved a life restored live fully a life restored. May God bless all of you. Thank you.
I apologize, but this is just where I am. I don't know why this was left off when I printed my comments this morning, but I have to take care of this. They deserve something. Is Missy Rocco here? Is Missy, are you here? The Western Legal Aid Society, she has worked with so many of our mentees, getting them in the help that they need legally and what have you. God bless you, Missy, and thank you right now. Casey Allen, this community is blessed to have an outstanding professional video player. Where's KC at? Right back here. I got to tell you, Children's Mentoring, Kathy and Gary Piper invited us to go to their event at Weinbrenner. There was a guy who spoke, and it's a lighthouse. Every one of you are a lighthouse, and there's a book. I would strongly recommend that you get that book and read it. There it is. It's amazing. You are a lighthouse. It is. I'm sure I mentioned churches, but the Community Foundation has been such a tremendous help to us. Unbelievable. Thank you very, very, very much and so much. And with their furniture, Marathon Petroleum, And when we got all that done, Chuck and Paula Clapper stepped up and helped us get that furniture in those offices that Gary Harps gave us. And now, in the probation officers, I think, Kim, am I right? They average about 90 felons to take care of themselves. These probation officers are doing a fantastic job, unbelievable. And you know what, folks? From what I've witnessed, the criminal justice system in the city and county, you're in damn good hands. Keep up the good work. I think I'm done. Just never forget, there is no I without we, and you all are we's. Thank you.
Thought I was going to be introduced, but. Yeah. Thank you. My name is Chuck Bills. And you know, as we listened to all this, and actually, Puck, that was really good closing comments, but we had the opportunity to move our family here in 1988. And, you know, we were concerned at that time, but you know, it's been 35, 36 years of days that have brought us smiles and tears and laughs, and we couldn't be any more blessed to be a part of Findlay. And some of you were part of that welcome committee 34 or 35, 36 years ago, and from the bottom of my heart, I truly appreciate that. I thank the Lord multiple times a day that we're able to do these type of things. You know, we talk about Russell. Russell, thank you for coming up here. Thank you for being a part of that. All of this in some form or fashion have allowed us, or have allowed Russell to do what he's doing, to give back. You know, special thanks, Kathy and Gary Pfeiffer. You know, I see their names a lot, and we're very thankful for what you do and everything you do for the community. You know, it goes back to, you know, people ask me, you know, why do we do what we do with our family, and you follow those that have proven to be successful, and Kathy and Gary, for all their life, have been given back to the community. Tom and Kathleen Donnell are not here, so we appreciate everything that they continue to do for our community. But that's what gets me so excited about being in Findlay, Ohio. Carla and your staff, you do a great job. Your passion is there. You know, there's nothing wrong with shedding a tear. There's not a day goes by, and you've heard me speak in the past when we talk about the former coach, I just went blank, North Carolina State, passed away of cancer, but yes, Coach Valvano talked about the things in life that you should do every day, you know, cry, laugh, etc. And there's not too many times, and I'm not speaking with Carla, that a tear is not shed. And for me, that's just a passion of what we do, and the excitement of for being a part of being able to do what we do. Law enforcement, Sheriff Heldman and his staff, city, county, state, you give us the opportunity to have a second chance. And last year I was speaking with one of Sheriff Heldman's staff members, and we talked about, I thanked him for doing what you do, to give us a second chance. And as he was walking away, he turned around and he said, you know, it's a third, it's a fourth, it's a fifth. Doesn't matter how many chances, it's our responsibility. What we want to do is to make sure we give everyone a second chance. So all of you who serve our community in some form or fashion, we appreciate your service to our community. And if I haven't shaken your hand, please be known from my heart. We appreciate what all you do for our community. In essence of time here, I just want to, again, you're all here for a reason. And thank you for being here. We mentioned all the resources, and I think Mayor has talked about several times that we forget what all the resources our community has. And it takes all of us to remind ourselves what those resources are. And I think we're doing a lot better job of that. You know, we read the article today with respect to immigration. We all have our opinions of that. But where is it coming from? It's coming from the heart and the soul. You know, our company, we don't hire forklift operators, we don't hire CSRs, we hire a heart and soul. We can always teach someone to be a forklift operator. Some have taken longer than I'd hoped, but that's life. So the resources, all of us, in some form or fashion, bring those resources to reality. And you may not, just being here today and sharing this, is helps us continue to build those resources, helps us give us the desire to want to do what we do. Someone asked me the other day, why do you work? I don't think he realized that I love working. He was thinking about financials or something. But I work because I love to work and I love to be a part of this stuff. My goal is to, if we do retire, is to be able to do what Kathy and Gary do and all the time they give back to our communities. I don't see myself retiring. My daughter may think something different, but that's our goal, is to always be able to give back. So all the elected folks, Justice Kennedy, Chief Justice Kennedy, for what you just spoke about, gives me additional confidence in our system. Sometimes, and no disrespect to media, yet maybe disrespect to media, we don't talk about the good things in life that our leadership in law enforcement, our leadership in judicial provide for us. There's a passion there. And sometimes we may not understand that passion, but the passion is there to help all of us. Your comments continue. I mean, I sat there and I thought, this is an individual who truly cares about us as individuals. So thank you for that passion. Thank you for sharing your time. 35, 36 years ago, whenever it was, I had a chance to meet Judge Ralston, and I was trying to figure out, I met him in a courtroom, and then I saw him play in a music band, and I'm like, these two don't seem to go along from my little town.
We still haven't
But
figured him out.
no, but his passion too, all of the folks, their passion is what gets us where we're at today. So in some form or fashion, we're giving from your physical, your emotional, your intellectual, your financial. In some form or fashion, you're helping us achieve what we do today. Going with our model, if I may, providing mentorship and resources. Think about that resources that we just spoke about. For adults who are involved in the Hancock County criminal justice system, helping them achieve crime-free and drug-free productive lives. In a case where we have more specifically, with an individual that Carlos introduced us to, who came through the program, I speak with that individual. He's on our maintenance team at least once a week. What he speaks more about is regaining family. And as I think about this, it's really all about family. And people hear me talk, I'm always talking about family and friends, family and friends. Life is great with family and friends. So in our case, when I speak with, and this individual's name is Paul, and he refers to our company as his family. And for that, I thank the Lord every day that we're in a position where we have enough folks in our group that understand our culture that give Paul the feeling that we are his family. In this case, this is what we're helping do, is helping those folks also regain family. I would encourage each of you to keep doing what you're doing, whether you're a mentor or a mentee. And the mentors, Mr. Murphy, I'll have to remember those 10 items there, but that again speaks to the passion of where we're at, the emotion. So thank you for that. Mentee, community and partner or donor, you make an impact. One person at a time and one day at a time. With that, I thank all of you for being here. Thank you for your support. Carlin's staff, board of directors, everyone in law enforcement, have a great day.